Alright, so what we about to do now, we about to sublimate a cup using a template that I got from Etsy. So in this video, we gonna show y'all exactly how to sublimate a cup, and I'm gonna show y'all how to work some of these templates that you download from Etsy. So first thing you gotta do, first you gotta go to Etsy and get your template. I ain't gonna show you that part, you should know how to do that. So then we're gonna go over here to Photoshop. We're gonna go to New. And what we're gonna do, we're not gonna just drag the template, open the template up in Photoshop. First, we're gonna make the size that we need first. So the template size for the width is gonna be 9.3. So you just type that in there. Then the height gonna be 8.2. And make sure you got that on inches. So very important to make sure you got that on inches. If not, then it ain't gonna be right. So once you do that, you're gonna go ahead and hit create. Alright. Now, once this come up, now you wanna go get your template to wherever you saved it at on your computer. So let me go get mine. Let me find it. Alright, so this is the template I'm gonna use right here. I'm gonna use the one that say straight. A lot of time when you buy templates, you have a straight and you have one that say tapered. So we're gonna use the straight one. And the reason I like to make this first, let me show you. So I'm gonna drag this over here and drop it on now. And the reason I like to make that first, so this white background, it'll help make sure the template's the right size. Cause some of these templates be too big. For instance, let me move this. So when you drop the template here, whatever side this is, it's gonna try to make it fit to this size. The only thing that you may have to do sometimes, you may have to just drag these to make it a little bit bigger to fit. But some templates be huge, humongous, and you have to downsize them. So if you go ahead and create you a box first and throw your template on there, you'll be good to go. You'll know your template's the right size every time you do it. Alright, so this is the template we're gonna use. And all these white spots here, these are for this is where your picture's gonna go. Alright, so what you wanna do first, you wanna make sure you disable this background layer right here. You wanna disable that because you wanna be able to see the checkerboard pattern right here. Cause that's how we're gonna have to put the pictures in there. So let me go find my first picture that I'm gonna put in here. I'm gonna show you how to do this. Cause this part can get a little tricky. And I'm just showing you how to do it on Photoshop. I know people use other stuff. So if you're using something else, then it may be the same, it should be similar at least. Alright, so let me find the picture. Alright, so this is going to be the first picture I'm putting on. So you just take this picture, you're going to drag it over here. Once you first drag that picture over here, you see how it's on top of your layer and it's big too. So what you want to do, you're going to go to the top up here. You're going to hit that check. So we go ahead and place it there. Alright, now what you want to do, you want to take your Christmas template right here, this one right here. Click and hold and drag it on top of the picture. Alright, so now you see how I put that picture in the back. So now you want to go back and click on your picture template. And you can see the little blue box around here. That's your picture. And you just drag it over right quick. So now you can see how your picture is fitting the little white checkerboard patterns and it's behind it. That's what you want. Alright, so once you let it go, you want to hold shift. You want to hold shift to resize it. If you don't hold shift, it ain't going to keep the proportion. So you're going to hold shift to make it smaller. Let me zoom in a little bit so y'all can see. So when you doing this, you want to make sure that picture fill this whole box. You don't want to leave none of this checkerboard pattern. If so, it's gonna be ugly. So you, like I say, you just hold shift to resize it. And what I like to do, I like to turn my picture just a little bit, try to get it straight. So now what I'm doing, I'm hold shift again. I'm making it a little bit bigger. Try to go up a little bit. And you can just try to center your picture as best as you can. Then once you get it where you want it at, you're going to go up here, hit the check. Then just zoom in and just look around. Make sure your picture filling the whole frame. So you see we got no checkerboard pattern nowhere. Alright, so that's the first one. I'm gonna zoom back out. And we're gonna do the same thing for the rest of these. And I'm making this cut for a customer, and they got certain pictures that they want on here. So I gotta make sure I find the right pictures. Now she didn't tell me where to put them at. She just want them on the cup, so I'm just gonna drop them wherever I drop them at. So the next one, 4523. So this is a good one. So you see how this picture is a landscape picture. So these be a little bit more difficult to try to put in that box because the proportion. This is a landscape, that box is a portrait. And remember, the same thing. Take this layer, put it back on top. Click on your picture layer again. Hold shift to resize it. So with this picture here, I'm gonna have to make it real small like this. Now on this one, I can't keep the proportion the way I want it because it won't fit. So I'm gonna have to distort the picture a little bit. This is gonna be the only way I'm gonna make this work. So let me zoom in so y'all can see. I'm still holding shift right now. So I'm gonna turn the picture to try to get it lined up with the box. So let me just show y'all. If I was to make the picture real big so I can fill the box, you see how we got everybody in now. So I'm gonna do it like this. Gonna cut off our arm just a little bit, but that's okay though. So we got that one in now. Remember, zoom in, make sure you don't see no checkerboards nowhere. Alright. So we got that one in now. Now we're gonna go to the next picture. And then after we do this, I'm gonna show y'all how we print it out. Then my wife gonna show y'all how to actually put it onto the cup. So now I'm looking for 4545. Alright, so this is a portrait picture, so it'll be much easier to get on now. And once again, remember you want to drag this layer up to the top. So they got shortcuts on here that you can use. You can move this stuff without going over here, but I'm just showing y'all the most simplest, easiest way. Just take that, move it to the top. Then click on the layer below that. Like I said, it's gonna highlight your picture. And just hold shift when you're resizing. And some of this depends on your Photoshop. So some of y'all Photoshop, the way you gotta set up, you ain't got to hold shift to resize. If you hold shift, it may distort it. So you have to just figure that part out. And see, that one look good. But when I zoom in over here, no, we got the whole thing filled in. I always like to zoom in. Oops, I moved the whole picture, y'all. Let me move that back. Let me show y'all something. Y'all see this over here? The checkerboard pattern? That's what you don't want. So if you zoom all the way out and you're working on this, you can miss that. And then when you print it out, you're going to have that white spot over there showing. So I always just zoom in so you can see good what you're doing. Let me move this over a little bit. Alright, there we go. That's good. So now we just got 2 more pictures to do. We're getting it done. So 4589 gonna be the next picture. So once again, this a landscape picture, but it's gonna be easy because it's just one person in here. So y'all should be getting the hang of it by now. Y'all see this real easy. And most of the templates you buy like this from Etsy, it'll be made this way. This is how you get your picture now. I know some people have problems with getting that picture in there. Because when you buy the template, it don't come with no instructions. They just assume that you know how to work it. Alright, so we're gonna zoom in again. we're gonna just look around this picture, make sure we got it filled in, which we do. We're gonna hit the check to go ahead and place it. So now, I don't know if you can see this. On this picture here, the back of this picture came over here in this window, which it really don't matter. I'm gonna show you why, because we can always set the other picture on top of this, so that don't even matter. So if that happens, you don't have to worry about it. All right, so now we're gonna get the last picture, 4516, and we got 7 of these cups to make. So we just gonna show y'all how to do one though. What I say, 4517, 4516, no, 4516. That's what I'm looking for. All right, so this is another landscape picture, and we got more people in this one. So let's see how this one work out. Zoom out so we can resize it. Then it's just what you gotta know is, like, when people send you these pictures, they don't know nothing about size or none of that. So you can kind of tell them if you just want all landscape pictures. You just have to let them know. So on this one, I'm gonna have to distort this one, and I'm gonna show you what I mean, because I can't make it no bigger, because if I do, we're gonna start to cut them off on the side. So if I don't hold shift and just grab this and drag it down, you see how I'm making them long, but they're gonna have to work. So I'm gonna zoom in and make sure we got everything, the whole picture filling up everything, which we do. So even though we distorted the picture, we didn't do it so much, so it ain't too bad. Alright, so we got all the pictures in this cup, everything filled in. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and send this to the printer. And I'm gonna show y'all my print settings. So hopefully you already got your printer set up. I'm gonna show y'all the print settings that we use. So we're gonna print this on 8.5 by 11. So I already made me a preset for this, but if you ain't got a preset, you ain't got to have a preset, but you can make you one if you want to. So once you go to 8.5 by 11, now the paper that I use, the paper setting that I use, is gonna be Ultra Premium Photo Paper Luster. Now I know everybody else tell y'all to use Premium Presentation Matte. The problem I have with that is it leave a lot of bleeding on the prints, so you have a lot of smearing going on. So I found that if I use luster right here, I don't have no smearing at all. So that's what I use. And I put it on high. Then we'll go up here to more options. And then over here, for your color settings, it'll be on automatic, but you want to change it to custom. You want to go to advanced. Now, I'm not using a profile. I'm using my own color setting that I found work the best for me. And I go to color controls, where I say color mode at. I take that to Adobe RGB2. Make sure it's on 2.2. Now, when I'm printing, if I'm printing people, I got a different settings for when I do people, and I got another setting when I'm just doing like regular artwork. So this is gonna be the setting I use when I'm printing anything with people in them. I take the density to 4, the saturation 15, and the contrast I put it on 6. I don't mess with the brightness at all. So this here gonna give you a good vibrant print, but it ain't gonna make the people put too much color in the people's skin. So this is the setting I use when I'm doing anything with people. And if you do these settings on your Epson printer, I'm almost guaranteed you're gonna get a good results. So we just go ahead and hit OK. Make sure you got your image mirrored. It need to be mirrored. If it ain't mirrored, it ain't gonna come out right. So make sure you got mirrored on. Then also right here, this need to be on landscape, because this is gonna be a landscape printout we're doing. So make sure you got this on landscape, not portrait. If you got it on portrait, it won't print right. And I like to have mine on print preview. So right before I print, just give me a preview, let me see what I'm about to print, but right before I do it. And it was another setting down here. This bi-directional printing. You can leave that on if you want to. Only thing that is saying, when the printer head move in both directions, it's gonna be printed in both directions that it move. So if you take it off, it's only gonna print when the print head move in one direction. One direction is supposed to give you a much better print, but I don't have it on and off. I haven't seen the difference. But if you leave it on, you can get a little bit faster print out of it. So I just leave mine on. Then I hit OK. And you see how this right here changed? It's kind of giving you a preview of what you got. And don't mess with nothing right here. You don't need to mess with nothing right here. And you're going to go to print. And now this is my preview. And you can see how it's a mirror right here. So I always got mine set up to every time I print to give me a preview so I can make sure everything is right. So we're going to go ahead and print that. We're going to go ahead and send that to the printer. So now we're going to go over here to the other room. And y'all going to see actually how we cut everything out, put it on the cup, and press it. So, hey, let's go to the other room. Alright, so for the printer that we using, it's an ET, right here, ET-8550. As you can see, the print is coming out. The reason we chose this printer, it had nothing to do with that it print better than any other printer. It was solely on the fact that it can print a 13 by 19. Which means when you doing some work on a shirt, you can get a bigger print to put a bigger image on the shirt. So if you don't need that, it don't make sense for you to buy this. No, you can get it because you can get one cheaper. This printer here gonna cost you about almost $700, I think. So you can get some smaller printers. They can do an 8.5 by 11. That'll be fine if you're just doing tumblers. But like I said, if you want to do some bigger images, like for shirts and stuff, then I recommend you get this 13 by 19. And as y'all can see, the image is coming out. So we're gonna let that get done printing. Then we're gonna be back and we're gonna start working on the cup. Alright, y'all, so this is our craft room. See, we got the name on the wall right there. So this is the room we made for all our sublimation, heat pressing, and all that stuff. There go our printer right here. There go our heat press right here. This go the mud press we got. That our Cricut. That our TV. And our computer. And that's who can finna press the cup. So we finna get ready to press this cup. Let's go our print right here. So remember, your print should be mirrored. So everything should be backwards on here. And also keep in mind that whenever you're doing sublimation, your print gonna come out looking a little dull. That's normal. I know a lot of people say, hey, my print don't look colorful. It don't supposed to. Once you put the heat to it, it's gonna activate the color. Everything gonna come out looking real good. Now some people still do have problems with, even when they put the heat to it, it still come out looking dull. And they're gonna mainly due to your printer settings. So I showed y'all the printer setting that we use, and so far it's been perfect for everything that we done. So, like I say, this the printout. So we finna get ready to put this on the cup. So y'all stay tuned. Here we go. Alright, y'all. So here we go.
So here's our tumbler. It's a 20 ounce. It's a 20 ounce tumbler.
20 ounce skinny tumbler.
Yep. So first, before I sublimate it, I always clean it off with alcohol. And then I use a
Not the kind you drink.
then I use a what is it called?
Microfiber.
I don't know what
She can't find alcohol, y'all.
Can't find my alcohol, y'all.
I think I had it last.
Well, do you know where you put it? Because I always have it sitting right back here.
Look behind the laptop over there. I think it's over there.
It is.
I was cleaning some.
So I always take the tumbler and I put it inside the cloth first, and then I just spray it once, flip it, spray it again, and then I just wipe it off. This gets off any trash that's on the tumbler. And while we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and heat up my tumbler press. So it heats up to 65 degrees, and then we press it for 90 seconds. Then I rotate it and I press it for another 90 seconds.
But you can't leave it closed.
Oops. All right.
And y'all just keep in mind when y'all be doing these cups, man. Every cup you do, not gonna be perfect. Some cups, the seam gonna be perfect. Some cups, you might have a little white line in the seam, or the bottom ain't all the way right. No one gonna do every cup perfect. I don't care how long you've been doing this. It ain't gonna be perfect.
Yep.
Cause I remember the other day we went in Walmart, and since we started doing this, every time we go somewhere, we be looking at their cups, and they seams weren't even good. So don't feel bad
At all. So now I got my cup wiped down. I just noticed that there is a little scratch on here, but that's fine because here's my print. I'm sure y'all seen it already. It's gonna cover it. But you wanna make sure your print is the correct way, and also your cup. So what I do so I don't touch the cup that much, because I just cleaned it off, I always stick my hand in here first to lay it down.
And sometimes we forget, y'all. I think she forgot to cut the paper. But it's okay. We forget sometimes.
Forget to cut the paper.
That's why you got to be a team. I can't tell you how much stuff I done messed up. She don't let me do nothing no more.
No, not this. He does all the graphic designing, and I do all the cutting and the pressing.
Yeah, I only get to do the computer stuff. I can't touch that no more.
So when I cut this one, I always make sure this side is cut like perfect. And then when I cut this one, I always leave a little bit of white seam, but I make sure I close it tight just so that I have a little guide for myself. So it is now cut.
So you don't worry about cutting the top and the bottom?
I do not cut the top, or I don't cut the bottom, because that helps me see that the cup is in the middle and I still have room. So what I do is I look at the bottom, and I honestly don't even know why I do this part like this, because when I get ready to close it tight, sometimes I actually just take it and I flip this part upside down. So that's how tumbler press it, done heated up. So I put it upside down and I let the paper touch the disc, and I squeeze it to my liking. And I look to make up here at the top, I don't know if y'all can see it, but I make sure the shadows match each other. And then I just flip the cup back over like this.
And what she's saying, when she said the shadow, she's trying to make sure the image lined up, so that'll help your scene be straight if you're gonna get it lined up.
Yep. And then I use my heat press tape. And I do about 4 to 5, just depending on.
So that beeping sound is our heat press. Let me see, can I stop this somehow? I don't know how to stop this thing from beeping.
Touch it, yeah.
Okay.
So my heat press tape is just helping me get everything all tight. Then I still always make sure my seam, well not my seam, like the little shadows that I was just talking about on the end of the image, I make sure they're still lined up correctly. So I'm gonna do one more piece of tape on this side. So then I take the cup, and just so I can make sure that my ink is even, y'all see how all this extra room down here at the bottom of the image? I just take the cup and I hit it at the bottom, which is gonna slide the image up. And I do it enough until I can start to see the ink.
Oh, y'all, she ain't never tell me that, so I ain't know that.
Yeah, that's what I always do. Come on. Almost up there. I try to hit it lightly.
So you sliding the paper up or you moving the cup? You just making the paper go
The
up?
paper is, you see now, you see the outline right here? It wasn't there before.
Oh.
It was out, and you see most of it's gone now.
All right, y'all, so I just learned something too. Now I can come here and do my own.
No. So I always just check to see where it is.
Well, where the?
The ink, where the ink starts at. But on this one, I think it starts white. It does, because I can see it. I'm like, why I can't see it? I thought it was red. So I'm going to hit it up just a little bit more.
So as y'all can see, man, it's you ain't gonna never be perfect at these. So if you got a little white showing, a little seam showing, it's okay. It's still a good cup.
And see, at first, we messed up so many cups. I think we probably messed up like 7 or 8 cups. But for me, I kind of want my seam to be perfect. I don't know, that's just how I am. But I do mess up sometimes. And I just let it be because it's not as bad. And most people, they honestly don't even look where the seam is. They look all around the seam at everything else. Unless your seam is obviously messed up. So what I do next is, I got my 5 pieces of tape here. So then I take this long piece of tape, just to secure it and make it a little bit more tight. I pull this tape tight. Fold this little tab on the inside of the image. And then this I just pull tight, so that it secures my seam a little bit more. And this piece wasn't quite long enough, so I'm gonna get another piece. And I'm just starting the same spot. But what I try to do also is make it long enough to where the tape actually touches this part. Because I don't like to use my, we have the circuit as he said before, so like my little tool, this tool is really sharp. So sometimes if I try to scrape it off, I actually scrape the white part. So once this tape touches it and it heats up in the heat press, it's so much easier to come off. So I just push it down tighter and I pull the tape to where it touches the little silver dot. So now that that part is done, I get some more tape and I wrap the bottom of the image. And I pull this tightly to secure my image in place all the way around. Tape keep getting stuck on my hand. And I just keep pulling until it reaches, that part. So that's all I do. I just go around. I don't fold this part. I see where some people add another piece of tape and fold it in, but I notice once I fold it in, I start to get ghosted. So I stopped doing that. That just works for me. So I get another piece. Now for my top part, I do the same thing like I did the bottom. I pull as tight as I can to make sure the image does not move. And I do take this extra bit of paper right here and I fold it in. And I do take another piece of tape and go around the top, as y'all gonna see.
And this tape gun, lifesaver. You can get that from Amazon, maybe like $13 or something like that it was.
So this piece, I don't wrap it all the way around the top. I start at the edge in my same pattern. I start at the edge and I pull tightly and I go all the way around. And y'all gotta excuse my hands. I know they probably look ashy, but what I always do and what you all should do is wash your hands before you mess with the image. That way you won't have any grease or anything transfer onto the image. So then I take the inside of the tape and I fold it down. I just go around the inside of the cup. So here's where I started with the tape. This will be helpful for when I get ready to unravel the cup. And I already showed y'all the bottom. So this is my tightly wrapped cup. So we're gonna come over here to the heat press. And I stick it in first, always with the tape facing upward. That way, I know when I flip it all the way down. So I'm gonna put it in here, secure it, start it for 90 seconds.
We just gonna let that count down. Now this mud press we got this from Amazon. No, not Amazon. I got this from eBay. And I chose this one because they do all size mugs. You don't have to have no different attachments. So we can do all mugs, and we can do tumblers up to 30 ounce tumblers. So mugs and tumblers with just one press. No other attachments or none of that. And you adjust it back here with these two things. So if we put a 30 ounce in there, we just have to unscrew these to loosen it up some. But yeah, that press cost us about, it was one something. I can't remember the exact price, but it's a good price for what you get. So we, like I said, we're gonna let that go on. We at 30 something seconds, and we're gonna let that go. So yeah, and just remember, man, all your cups ain't gonna come out perfect. So, but like I said,
as a matter of fact, I have a cup.
Don't worry about it.
Right here, I can show y'all. So this is one of my first cups that I made. As y'all can see, the seam is not perfect. I love the design, but this is one of the very first cups that I made, and you can see I closed it up pretty good down here. The colors didn't line up, which that's okay to me, but you see this white line right here. All right, y'all, so now I tumbler press is ready.
She like to work with no gloves for whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't like to use the gloves because my hands are so small and they be in the way. So I take it and I flip this. Let me stop this. And I just twist it over and I flip it, and I'm gonna close it for another 90 seconds. But I do have gloves, but as y'all can see, I mean, they fit pretty good, but my hands are so small and I just feel like they're in the way, so I don't like to use them. Now, when I take it out, I am gonna use them because it gets real hot. But when I flip it, or even when we making shirts or anything dealing with the heat press, I don't like to use the gloves, so sometimes I'll be burning myself.
And back to earlier when she was saying like we messed up some cuts. So all the cuts we messed up one because of the seam. Most of the cuts we messing up because the color wasn't coming out right. They were looking dull and ashy looking, and man.
I think this is another cup that we, well no, I think, let me see. So here's another cup that we made. It's a Christmas cup similar to this one, but it has my photos on there. As you can see, the seam on this one is perfect. You barely, you know, I'm telling you that it's there, but it's very non-noticeable. But on this one, the colors wasn't as vibrant. So we started playing with my husband started playing with the color saturation and stuff until we got it right.
And y'all just keep in mind, you know, when you giving these cups to your customer, they don't know nothing about no seam. They don't know nothing about none of that. So they're not gonna see that. The only reason we know about it, and if y'all whoever looking at the video, the only reason you know about it because you making a cup. So you looking for imperfections. When you give these cups to your customer, they ain't gonna know.
All right, y'all. So here we go. Let's see what we got. So when I take it out, I always use my little tool over here. Forgot it. And see, I grabbed the tape from underneath. And once I do that, you see how easy the little yellow, not yellow, the silver circle came off. And my cup isn't scratched. So I flip that over and then I just start pulling upward. Sometimes it breaks the bottoms. And this is another reason why I don't like the gloves, because everything stick to them. And then I go to the top. Well, no, actually, I start just tearing the image. And I tear it in the upward motion. Ooh, this cup is hot. And I I just keep going until I get all the paper off. Sometimes at the top it does do that, so I go from the inside and peel the tape and it come right off. So this made for the circuit, but it's definitely helpful to me when I'm doing my my tumblers as well. All right, y'all. So here is the finished product.
Hold it up straight, cause yeah.
Finished product. My seam is right there, so the seam is good. The picture colors are vibrant, and that's it.
All right, y'all. So that's how you do a tumbler from the computer all the way to the heat press, wrapping it and everything. So we got 1 cup down. We got
6 more to go.
Yeah, 6 more to go. So hey, this our first video on YouTube for sublimation, but we got a lot of more other stuff that we can make. Of course, we got a tag right here that we just made. Well,
it's a license plate.
Yeah, we got a license plate right here we made. We also got a full all over shirt that we done.
So I'm gonna show y'all the shirt, but it's actually 2 over here. Let me see. Because the first one we messed up, or the first.
Man, we caught hell trying to get this shirt.
And this one isn't all the way perfect.
Yeah, but that's a all over shirt that we done. So we're gonna have videos showing y'all all that stuff. So like I said, this is our first video. So y'all make sure y'all like and subscribe. We got plenty more videos we gonna drop. So
and if y'all have any questions, make sure y'all ask them in the comment section below, and we gonna respond back to y'all.
All right, we out.
Bye.